The holidays can be a lot. I mean, we have issues with nostalgia, compound grief, ideation, and trying to chase the dream of the perfect experience that only exists in our own mind. And if you didn't have enough to worry about and you're gluten free like I am, then you're up at night worrying about how to make the perfect pumpkin pie. So today we're going to go on this journey together. I've workshopped it so you don't have to. So it should be a great time and smooth sailing, but we've all heard that before. The crust that I'm using for this pie is a house recipe that me and my husband have been workshopping for a lot of years. So that is really the raison d'etre of what I have to offer. And the filling for this pie is from Saffitz recipe for a caramelized honey pumpkin pie. Okay, so we have 3/4 cup of all-purpose gluten-free flour, 3/4 cup of almond flour, some salt, some cinnamon to keep it holiday themed, some sugar. Mix that all together. So now it's time for liquids. This is 3 tablespoons of the milk of your choice. That was oat milk. 1/2 cup of oil. This is canola, but you can use any neutral oil you like. And that's it. And now we're just going to mix it together. And it's very easy to spread out in your pie plate with just your hands or a rubber spatula. So that's what the dough looks like. It's very easy. It comes together. It almost has like a sugar cookie dough consistency. That's a thumbnail face. Ow, I can't get the lid off. You are going to need to spend your precious moments evenly pressing it into this pan and making sure that it's not too thick around the edges or it won't bake evenly. All right, so we've finished this beautiful rustic pie crust, and now I'm going to take a fork and dock this. So that's what the crust looks like. It's just a little bit of browning around the edges. And so now we're going to start the filling by browning the butter and caramelizing the honey. We have 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 113 grams of honey. You can use any variety that you like. And then we also have 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. So let's brown the butter. It's gonna have to go for like 5 to 7 minutes. Exciting times. The butter is sputtering away, which means that the moisture is evaporating off, and pretty soon the browning will commence. This crust is looking so nice, and you can hear the butter sputtering away. It literally just turns in 2 seconds. This looks really good in person. I can tell you from the video it might look a little dark, but it's not, I assure you. That's about 4 minutes. So now I'm going to add in the honey. Okay, so now I have the honey in here. I gotta watch it like a hawk and cook it until it caramelizes. It will have a warm, nutty smell. It froths up so nice. All right, so now I have to stir in the heavy cream quick like a bunny. It's time to get this movable feast on the road. That is a Hemingway reference. And let's get this custard assembled so we can get in the pie crust, and then I can sit on the couch like a lump. So making this pie today has made me think of the movie The Hours. Remember where she makes the cake with the little boy? That's depressing, but rest assured, I'm not going to abandon my family this holiday season. At the risk of sounding smarmy, I really want to talk about these spices because a lot of them I hand grated and ground in my mortar and pestle. We have 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger. That is hand planed nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground allspice. I also forgot I have a 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove. Okay, so now I'm going to whisk together these 4 farm fresh eggs. Shout out to Emma and Brie for giving me these. And the 1/4 cup of brown sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the oven's preheated. 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. And whisk this together. And in movie magic, I'll be back in a few minutes when it's done. All right, so look at that. Doesn't that look delightful? I'm going to add in my 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 full can of Libby pumpkin, and then all of my fancy spices, 1 teaspoon of salt, and whisk together. And now it is time to stream in the most important ingredient, and that is the caramelized honey and brown butter mixture. And I'm going to be actively stirring while I stream this in so that my eggs temper. And don't make scrambled eggs. But luckily this isn't too hot anymore, so I don't think that's a problem. I don't have to worry too much about incorporating this because once I get it all streamed in, I can make sure it's all combined. So for right now, I'm just adding it in slowly enough that I'm not going to ruin anything. Words to live by. Make sure to take a spatula and get all those little brown butter bits off the bottom of the pan because they are kind of the best part. Movie magic. It's all combined. Now let's get it in the crust. I'm really excited about this. I think it worked really good. I'm going to show you. Perfection. Now I'm just going to smooth that top a little bit and put it in the oven. Okay, that's a snap. It's in business. Okay, and now we're going to bake the pie at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 to 60 minutes. And the way you check it is you jiggle it, and if the center is jiggly but not wobbly, then you know we've reached the end of this stage of the journey. There's still the eating, there's still the fussing around, but we've completed something. And that is the most important thing to acknowledge. If I'm speaking frankly, which I am, and if I'm speaking truthfully, I find a lot of this task initiation for holiday baking to be the hardest part. Like once I get it rolling, it usually goes pretty good. Anywho, I'm going to clean up the kitchen and wait for an absolution that will never come. That is a quote from Rose DeWitt Bucator, aka Rose Dawson from Titanic. Just look at this gem of a pie. Unfortunately, we have one little crack on the top, but you know, it's going to be covered in whipped cream, so I'm going to let it go. Emotionally, I'm kind of devastated, but you know, que sera, sera. Well, for all intents and purposes, I think that's a pretty amazing pumpkin pie. It's taking all of the self-restraint I have to not bury my face into it and eat it like a wild dog. Tomorrow I'm going to make the whipped cream. Then I'm going to serve this bad boy up. The pie doesn't need to be gendered. And I'm going to hope for the best. Okay. Signing off. Someone is sad because their sister is at the groomers. So I guess that proves that they actually like their sister. I have it on record.